All right, starting the recording for this week's Emporous Community Meeting, a little bit late. Apologies for that. In addition to the recording issue, should be looking to solve the hosting problem that delayed the start of the meeting today. So I will look into, let's see. I will figure out how to share hosting privileges for the community meeting. And enable the auto start. Recording for future meetings. Okay, good call it. Jennifer, do you want to speak to the code of conduct item that you have mentioned?
Yep, I do. So the last meeting we mentioned that we were pointing to the CNCF code of conduct and how we can't do that because it doesn't have the correct reporting instructions. So
Yep.
I just wanted to mention that I should be getting the information for the reporting today, later today. And I'm meeting with a code of conduct specialist and the PR I put next to it is just the governance membership and some additional how-tos, like how to get a new member, how to create a new repo, and then the code of conduct will be on that PR as well. So if anyone is interested, I encourage people to take a look and give me early feedback.
Got it. Thank you for bringing that up. And it's great to hear that you have reinforcements for some of the code of conduct type stuff. Legalese is not my first language. On that topic, I see it's going to the Emporous Docs repo. I guess to rename the Emporous Docs repo to community I need to go ahead and get that PR rebased so that we can do that. And all right. New use cases, proof of concepts for newcomers to try. So is that just a general request for demos? Do you want to speak to that?
It's an offer to produce demos. So
sweet.
As I mentioned earlier, I'm very interested in this because it fills a specific use case for the way that the Internet Archive manages its collections of large items. Yeah, and so there's something in that neighborhood that I'd like to play with. And if there are particular smaller use cases that maybe fit with some of the things that the Internet Archive does that you're already thinking about, that's the kind of thing I'd be like, yeah, hey, I'll create a new repo or whatever the proof of concept might want to be.
Awesome. Let's see. So for that, there's two possible ways to answer this. I think, actually, this is a stubbed namespace for community generated content. And at the same time, we also have an example use cases and demos repo here. For the time being, does anyone have opinions or suggestions on best places to PR, those kinds of things for right now?
I think it depends on whether it's like a tool or a demo, meaning like the community is for like integration tools or maybe like template repos to produce integration tools. And then the examples repo is more like using the client to demonstrate things in like Bash or maybe Python or something like that.
Okay, I like that distinction. So for other communities that I've been part of, the community space has been a home for individual repos that were dedicated to individual outcomes, whether it's a tool leveraging the technology which accomplishes a certain type of task, but that is community derived, or something like that. It's supposed to be a single purpose repo that can filter up into the Emporous community and then get community ownership for maintenance over time. And then, like you said, Jennifer, the examples repo is a good place if you just want to demonstrate how to operate the existing Emporous, build artifacts to accomplish some short procedure.
So I think I'm hearing that backwards from what I think I'm seeing, but I'm not sure. Like, so I heard Python, and I'm seeing a number of projects in the Emporous Community group that are Python oriented, a Python client, and this pip index generation project is really interesting. It looks like you're starting, Jennifer. Is that? I think I'm missing a nuance here on what the examples are smaller than those.
Yeah, when I mentioned Python, you just meant like if you need like a quick scripting language to shell out and show what the client can do. But this is more like I want to import client libraries. And when I say that, I'm talking about the Emporous community. People are typically importing client libraries or creating like gRPC clients to be used with the Emporous API. Like, so individual tools that would have individual maintainers.
Got it. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah. So like a bridge between I'm trying to conceptualize how some kind of demo tool, probably some library like this that was compatible like PHP or other tools that the Internet Archive uses, that would talk to the API, the gRPC API, to duplicate some functionality like that. That would go in the Emporous community, and
yes.
something like Emporous-PHP would help them in some way.
Yes.
Cool.
All right.
And Jennifer, do you mind if I ask about this Emporous pip project that looks like you're starting up, Jennifer?
Actually, the person who created that project, I had just put the license file in it. I can link you. Yeah, there's another person who's not on this meeting today that created the project, and I can put in the notes where the actual code lives right now. It's going to move from his personal namespace to community.
Cool. Perfect. Thanks. And I'm going to have to sneak out here in a few minutes, but is the mailing list the best place to keep in touch for now?
That and the Kubernetes Slack Empress channel.
Awesome. I'll join that too. Thanks.
Did you say Kubernetes or CNCF?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for catching that, Alex. I was just promoting the Kubernetes channel for something else earlier this morning. CNCF Empress Slack channel.
Awesome.
So that should be linked here.
Yeah, I know how to find it. However, awesome. Thanks.
All right. And then it looks like we're getting something added by Ned. When you're done writing that, Ned, if you want to speak to that.
Yeah, I mean, just to help clear up any confusion for future contributors, kind of the conversation, the topics and information that David just brought up, we should probably document that on the main organization page for Emporous, just so people know. If you're looking to do this, and that's already there a little bit for a couple of the repos, but there's a lot of repositories now, and it might just be good to have a listing of them and their intended purpose on that main page.
Yes, absolutely. So the Empress docs will be renamed to community. Contributing will include a high-level index of what kinds of things can be found where or contributed where, to help distinguish the difference between not just how to write the contributions and PR them to the Empress core repositories, but also if you're wanting to do an example or wanting to transfer ownership of a community project into Empress Community, that's where this Empress docs that's changing to Empress Community, that will be a good place to find that. And of course, it'll be linked from the website community page. And then hopefully that at least gets us closer to addressing what we're lacking in that regard, as far as communication and being able to answer those questions by sharing a link to the requesting party.
Okay.
All right. So I definitely have action items for my time on the Empress Community this evening. Is there anything else that needs to be addressed right now? If bug scrub or PR review or anything is going to be done, I cannot host that today. I think, oh, that's something else I needed to do. Keyboard's being done. Set up for a backup host. Sounds good. Okay. I think we captured all of the highlights for today's meeting. Does anyone want to volunteer to do bug scrub after I drop? Bug scrub, pull request, whatever. Going once, going twice.
If you, yeah, I mean, we can do that. If you drop it though, is it going to end the meeting for everybody?
I can leave Zoom going.
I think you can just make the host,
That's true.
Okay.
but that may stop.
Let's see. Okay, I am going to mute myself and move on to other things that I need to be addressing right now. And I will listen for when the meeting is over and end the Zoom to play it safe for this time.
Okay. Was there upon Kat's departure here, is there any Jennifer, I see you in the doc. Is there anything specific there we want to cover?
There is a bug scrub section where we can look at submitted bugs on the client. I can't share my screen because I'm actually joining from my phone, but if anyone wants to volunteer to share their screen, we could look at that.
We can't. That's disabled by the host.
Okay. Really, the only thing I wanted to bring up is you guys might see a couple changes coming through on Parabolos and the addition of code owners files. So I'm starting to structure the teams out, but they're by no means like set in stone. So if there's a team that I might have left somebody off of that you want to join, just PR Parabolos and we can get it set up. But I just wanted to let people know that that's what's starting to happen.
Okay. Does anybody here have any questions about Parabolos or what the purpose of that is, or any questions pertaining to that tool? Nope. Thanks, Kat. I was just going to say real quick, Parabolos is something that we were kind of hoping could be a self-service functionality within our organizations. That would allow people, especially within the community repo, to propose new teams or new special interests or new projects, and then that's a way to request those, and then get review and then approval, and then once those PRs emerge in the .github repo, then those assets should be created within the organization. So that's really I think David had touched on what some of that. It's that's really the purpose of it, was for people who are interested in the project to have a team space or a special interest space to be able to develop their concepts. I know that we have the bug scrub section here. It was the goal to, Jennifer, did you want to bring that up and actually go through that here for the next 20 minutes, or?
Yeah, I can't.
Anybody have?
I don't think I can share my screen from my phone.
No, yeah, okay. Let's see here. I think I can probably figure this out.
Do you want me to try? If you're doing the multi-mode thing, Alex, I can try for it.
Oh yeah, either way, I can do it from here. You can do it. I mean, yeah, we can share the load if you want to.
What's that? You muted yourself.
Yeah, if you want to share the load, if you want to bring it up, then I guess we could just talk to it.
Sure. 1 second.
Word.
I'm going to hope that. Yep. Okay. Cool. 1 second. This one, right? All right. Everyone can see my screen? Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. Just going for the PRs of things. I have personally never done Bookstrap before, but based on what I remember from Qvert, we just iterate through the PRs and we're set. I'm assuming we're going through Emporous IO and Emporous Go, unless we have others.
I personally defer to somebody with more experience in this community action.
Yeah, I am cool with sharing my screen, but I don't have. I'm sorry. Do you want me to? Let's look at 23 H1 roadmap, for example. Looks like it's just a scenario where we have a review requested. Was there anything you wanted to bring up on this one, Alex?
No, so this was my goal here was to seed the community with a certain amount of like baseline content to kind of like get everything kicked off so that like the next roadmap planning, we could actually do that as a community, with the community kind of like spun up on the current functionality of the client, the CLI and the libraries, and then be able to really like look at, you know, what features do we want going forward. This current roadmap here was just kind of like a brain dump between Jennifer and I, having pretty intimate knowledge with the client library right now. That was just with our familiarity with the client, based on its current capabilities, you know, where we'd like to see it, you know, added to kind of like do the most good, you know, in the, I think towards specifically in the interest of secure content publishing. And then I would welcome any feedback or discussion we want to have around that. But I also saw Kat was saying just look for stuff that was seeming kind of stale or otherwise unattended to, which I think that could be said for the majority of the open issues in the client, as their earliest one I'm seeing was from May 24th of last year. So I'm not, I think maybe this is a larger effort than we would want to engage in on this call.
Gotcha. Yeah, I do see that too now. That's that in July, a few of them there. Some of them are already tagged. Do we want to do like a internal cleanup before we start up bug scrub and have that prepared for next session then, and call the meeting?
When you say internal, asynchronous comes to mind. Oh, sorry. Gotcha. Go ahead, Ned. Oh, sorry. I thought for some reason. When you say internal, the word asynchronous over this our Slack channel comes to mind, so that maybe we can, because I know a lot of this stuff has been assigned or has already been, I think, probably been worked on, and I think that it's going to come to a lot of those just getting a little bit of follow up on. So yeah, I'd prefer to do this asynchronously over the next week. Okay, we'll come back to it tomorrow, and I'll open up the bug scrub for that next week. Does that sound good? Yeah, and I mean, if we want to wrap this up here in the next couple minutes, I mean, we could give ourselves 15 minutes of our day back. Sounds good. I think it just automatically stopped sharing the screen, even though I clicked on. Anyway, I'll figure it out more better next time. But yeah, sounds good. Anyone have anything else they want to bring up, or are we all set to go? Ned, you had asked real quickly. Ned, you had brought up in Slack the client version that we wanted to reference when we go live with all the new content.
Yeah.
Are we good there, or did you have any more questions or any concerns?
I just, whenever that client is available or something that's close enough to it that I can use to sort of mock out the getting started portion of the website, that would be perfect. don't know what the status of the client is right now.
Jennifer, do we have any any ideas to what the timeline is we want to get the features that we put into the prototypes or the demos, how we want to roll those back into the client releases, for how long that's going to take?
I think that the client with the features it has right now could be cut as is, like 0.5.0 could be cut. My goal is to get that version released by the end of this month or like very early February. But if you build from main, if you wanted to play around with it, Ned, I don't think that there should be any major differences between what's on main and what ends up in that release.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Trying to think here. Yeah, I think that do we have a goal as far as a community goal when we want to go live with the 0.5 documentation, the whole kind of overall rebranding? Has that been discussed? That might be something good maybe to pop up a discussion in Slack too. I think we should definitely just kind of throw a date on the calendar so we can just have something to work towards.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. Well, a little bit of a chaotic / hasty meeting, but I think we pulled through. So, and yeah. Cool. All right. I saw Kat already gave her parting words on the meeting, so I think we could just go ahead and be okay with it. Just calling it there.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Cool. Take care, everyone.